I understand our youth. But I told my team in my 27 years of coaching, I don't think I've put a team on the floor that played like that. I understand anxiety. I understand nerves when you're in a new position. And it definitely was a new position. But we talked about opportunity. And you can't control the events that happen in terms of injury, in terms of health. We will not rest our head on that. All you can control is how you respond to that. And that's what I was most disappointed today, was in our young ladies' response. Forget the ball going in the basket. You're going to have bad shooting nights. There's no excuses for not boxing out and giving up 21 offensive rebounds. There's no excuses about being first to the floor on loose balls. My 6'5" was the only one that was first to the floor. And that's why she will play more, because she has some heart there. I'm disappointed in our effort and what this place was built on and what we've been doing since the preseason when you say floor burn you. And we didn't show that. We showed much better resolve and effort against an Auburn team, how we came out and played. But for my bench today, who was thrust into playing time, now I hope they understand that it's earned and that there's an accountability, and the players that were playing in front of them were for a reason. But I, too, was a second string, third string point guard, and I knew my scout better than the starter because I was committed to it. We saw a football team yesterday who's still playing third and fourth string kids. And granted, it wasn't their first game, but they still rose to the occasion to battle. I don't care about the outcome. What I care about is how we perform with the opportunity that we're given. And that's what I'm most disappointed in, and that's what we're going to go back to the drawing board with and make sure that we don't put that kind of effort on the floor.
Is it fair to say that what happened today blindsided you a little bit?
A little bit. A little bit. A couple things blindsided me for people that we didn't have today. But in terms of a readiness, I knew some of my young ladies weren't ready for that situation. I just thought we would play harder. So that's the blind side, is that we didn't commit to playing harder for 40 minutes. And like I said, it wasn't a complete. We had some kids that did play hard. Fatigue did set in with some of them, so we start getting a little softer and softer because we start pacing ourselves. But that's what blindsided me, was the heart of the matter.
What's the biggest concern right now on the offensive end of the floor?
We have to get some scoring inside. We have to get consistent scoring inside to open it up just a little bit more. One possession, I think, early in the fourth quarter, we attacked, we drew two, we rotated the ball. We told them, hey, they're pretty solid on the first side of the floor, but if you reverse the floor a couple times, the defense will break down and we'll be able to find the seams. We were like a deer in headlights. We'd pass it once and we'd stand. But once we got the attack and we made some kickbacks, it opened up the floor and we got two easy baskets out of it. That's what I'll draw and pull those clips to show our young ladies in terms of, yeah, it works when you do what we say.
And off the top of your head, what was the biggest issue today on the defensive end?
I just think experience, being in those situations. Our best defensive player right now just comes from talking. Janiyah, even at the beginning of Auburn, it was Janiyah that was out there communicating, telling people where to go. But defense isn't a one rotation thing. Defense, you have to guard multiple actions. And our kids would go to one place and then they would stop. And then they would make the secondary pass and nobody was rotating. And here's the thing. They've given folks the blueprint because if coaches watch film like we do, those are habits. Those are habits that they're going to see from those kids while they're having to play that I might have 3-4 point guards on the floor at once if I can just get them rotating and understanding where they're supposed to be. But today was just a lack of effort before any X's and O's on where are we supposed to be from a rotational standpoint, anxiety and effort.
What do you think the problem is with the turnovers right now? Is there one specific thing that's going on with that?
I just think we're trying to do too much one-on-one instead of moving the ball. We talk about one more, and you have people that get locked in with their head down when somebody's open, and they think it's a free-for-all, pop-a-shot type thing to just get the ball. But we got to move the ball. We're drawing two people. We got to move the ball, and that's where a lot of those turnovers are coming from.
Obviously, there's going to be more than one point of emphasis before Wednesday night, but what are the things you most want to see this team improve at before you get back on the floor for that game?
I think bringing the paddles out and just checking the heartbeats. Because that's what I want to see. When you get your butt whooped like we did, it's more than the corrections that we have to make on X's and O's. It's a part of being steady. It's a part of anxiousness, and it's hard to have confidence when you're not prepared.
Yeah.
And when you're in situations, I can open that playbook right now. I can open up the scout film on kids that they want to play, but they're not studying. And this is no different than any other class I've had. I got great students. We're hovering right around a 3.75, 3.8. The problem is we got about a 1.5 basketball IQ, and they got to put the same effort into basketball that they're putting into their other studies.